Hello and welcome to We Poets. My name is Sally Baker and I'm the host of We Poets. We Poets is a poetry show for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 13. So if you would like to be on the program, please have your teacher or your parents call me. Also, I'm always looking for adult guests to come and tell children something about their careers that children and teenagers can pursue when they graduate from high school or college. Tonight we have a wonderful young lady here. She's a poet and she has received 2 awards for a contest that she appeared in recently. And her name is Juliana Smith. And we have a wonderful adult guest coming tonight also. And her name is Sharon Meyers. And she is a haiku word lady, and she's going to tell us all about this wonderful haiku poetry that she writes. So I know we're going to have a great show tonight. So here we go with our first poet. Hello, young lady.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
Good.
Good. Could you look there at camera 3 and tell us your name and how old you are and what grade you're in, please?
My name is Juliana. My name is Juliana Smith, and I'm in 4th grade, and I go to Franklin Elementary School.
Great. And what's your favorite subjects in school?
Math, reading, and writing.
Good. Why is it important that boys and girls know how to read and write?
So that when they're older, they can help others, and also when they're older, they can get jobs that need to help them to read and write.
Good. That's very good. And tell me about your mom. What kind of job does your mom do?
She's a lawyer.
Good. Do you think you'd like to be a lawyer?
No.
What do you think you want to be when you graduate from high school and college?
I think I want to be a gymnast.
A gymnast. Oh. What are some of the activities that you participate as a gymnast?
I go to gymnastic classes at Head Over Heels in Emeryville.
Good. And what are some of the things you do there?
You can do tumbling on mats, and you can go on the uneven bars, and there's foam pits and vaults.
Wow, you're a busy young lady. And what are special foods that you have to eat, and what do you have to drink to keep your body strong?
You can drink water and also eat vegetables and fruit.
Good. What are your favorite vegetables and fruit?
I don't really like vegetables, but I do like eating fruits. But one of my favorite vegetables that I do like to eat is carrots.
Good, good. Now, let's talk about these awards that you've won recently. Tell me about these 2 awards that you won.
I won this medal at the Oratorical Fest, the Dr. Martin Luther King Oratorical Fest at Skyline High School, and I won 2nd place.
Good for you. And you won another one too, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
At my school, Franklin Elementary, I won 1st place.
In an oratorical fest?
Yes.
Good, good. Now you're going to read which one for us tonight?
I'm going to read The Night Sky.
Okay, look right here at camera 3 and let's hear it nice and loud, please.
The night shines bright, the stars shimmer in the sky. I'd love to go out and see them tonight, but I can't. I'm asked to go to bed. I close my eyes and dream of the beautiful night sky. Then I fly up so high and touch the stars. They seem so beautiful tonight. Then I sit on the moon and dream in my dream. I feel so nice and free, I say, so nice and free. Then I'm asked to wake up. I feel angry inside because I'm having such a great dream about all of the beautiful stars. But I stand no fight against my mother, so I just get up. Of course I'm a little cranky, but I'll get better. Don't worry about me, I'm as happy as can be.
Great, that's a wonderful poem. I can see why you won an award for that. Have you read it anywhere else beside here on We Poets?
No.
No, but I bet you will. I bet you will. So what else do you like to write about when you write your poetry?
I wrote about this other poem about an owl because I really like to write poems about things that have really happened in my life. And usually sometimes owls in my neighborhood are always making noises, so I wrote a poem about them.
Really? Are you going to read that poem tonight or you not?
No.
No. Well, you know, when I was a kid about your size, if we'd hear an owl howl at night, my grandmother said, quick, take off your shoes, turn them upside down, and that'll make the owl stop howling. Or she'd say, put some salt in your shoe, and that'll make the owl stop hollering. But that was just an old wives' tale, you know. I don't think it really worked. Now, is there anything else you'd like to tell me about you?
Yes.
What would you like to tell me?
My grandmother is a secretary, and she works at Downs Memorial Church.
Oh, good. I think I went there one time. And your grandmother's a real nice lady, and she brought you tonight, right?
Yes.
I know she's very proud of you and your mom, too. Anything else you'd like to tell us?
Yeah.
What else?
Today's my mom's birthday.
Oh, so you're going to go home and have a birthday party for Mom tonight?
No, we're going out to a restaurant with her twin sister. They're 40 years old.
Your mom has a twin sister. And you're going out to San Francisco tonight to a restaurant?
I don't know where it is, but we're going out to a restaurant.
Ooh, what do you think you're going to order?
I think I'm going to get macaroni and cheese mozzarella sticks.
Oh, that sounds good. What else do you like to eat?
I like burgers and spaghetti.
Ooh, do you help Mom cook at home?
Yeah, she and her sister cater, and they do it for this thing called Paradise.
Oh, is it a restaurant?
No.
Oh,
It's just a catering business.
well, catering business. Oh, what else do they cook at Paradise?
Sometimes they usually get fruit, and also they make desserts, and they make cakes and rice and noodles.
Ooh, I'll have to go there and try that food out. It's called Paradise, huh?
Yeah, a taste of paradise.
A Taste of Paradise. It's in Oakland?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, good. I like cake. Do they make chocolate cake?
Yeah,
Do they make peach cobbler?
yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to have to come. Do you help them sometimes?
No, but I do help my mom sometimes bake for the family.
What do you bake?
Sometimes I help her make some chocolate cake since I really like chocolate cake, and sometimes she makes cakes by herself and makes them a surprise for us.
Oh, good. Well, now, we're all out of time for this segment of the program, but you're going to come on after our guest comes on, and you can ask her some questions about haiku poetry. Do you know about haiku?
No.
Well, you're going to learn. Well, thank you so very much, and we're going to hear from you later. Thank you. Welcome back to the second half of We Poets. I'm Sally Baker, the host. I would now like to introduce you to my very special guest for tonight. Her name is Sharon Meyers. She is a haiku word lady, and she's going to tell us all about her career in writing haiku poetry, and maybe some of you boys and girls and adults watching our program would like to follow in her footsteps. So here we go. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sally. How are you?
Good. How are you tonight?
Great.
I'm so glad you could come and tell us all about your wonderful career in writing haiku poetry.
Well, I have to correct you there because I did not have a career in writing haiku poetry.
Oh, what was your career in?
Well, my career, I started out, it was a very zigzaggy career.
Oh.
Okay, so I started out thinking I was going to become a musician because I grew up in a family of musicians.
Oh.
And in fact, when I was 12 years old, my very first business card was printed out by a friend, and it said, Sharon Meyers, oboist.
Oh.
But then when I got to college, I got interested in speech and language disorders,
Oh.
and I got my degrees in that field and ended up teaching and doing therapy with children who had mostly language disorders, children who had brain damage, and also children who were deaf.
Oh.
So then I had to do a new business card, and it was speech pathologist and speech and language pathologist, and then later teacher of the deaf.
How nice.
But then I got interested in the civil rights of people with disabilities. And I ended up joining the federal government as a civil rights investigator. And that's where I spent most of my career. And my writing there was writing reports and findings about, doing these investigations. And so my business card was civil rights investigator. And that was kind of interesting. There was a lot of writing to it, but there was also a lot of interviewing and traveling and learning about different programs. So it was a very interesting career.
Wonderful.
Then I retired. And then I was asked by a friend who, she and her husband were starting up a software business, and she asked if I would be their writer. They wanted me to write their user manuals, so step by step, how do you use this program? And I did that, and I wrote the content for their website. And whenever they got stuck on a word or a phrase, they would call me and say, I know, Sharon, you'll come up with the right word because you're the word lady.
You're the word lady.
So that's how I got dubbed the word lady.
Oh, how nice.
It was only after I really retired from all my real jobs.
From all your real jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting, how interesting. Did you ever teach children?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, my first job teaching children, I taught aphasic children, and these are children who were born with brain damage that caused them to be unable to learn language. And they were first and second graders.
How interesting. Oh.
And then later on I taught deaf children from the age of 6 to 12. And it was an oral program, so most of them could talk, and we were teaching them to speak better and learn language and all that.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Isn't this wonderful?
Yeah.
Well, now, let me get to my prepared questions.
Okay.
Well, how did you become known as the word lady? I guess we've already,
I've already
answered
told
that
you
one,
that,
yes.
yeah.
And what is yoga in a nutshell?
Well, yoga is something that I started to do after I retired, and I realized all my life I've been using my brain, but not my body.
Oh.
And I knew I needed more physical exercise. But I had done things like biking and exercising and running and walking, and I kept getting injured. And it just didn't seem to work for me. I didn't enjoy those kinds of exercises until one day I discovered yoga about 15 years ago. And it just seemed to do the trick. It was the kind of movement that didn't cause injuries for me, and I loved doing it. So, yoga.
Yoga? I've never done yoga.
Yoga is something that started in the Indian subcontinent centuries ago. And there are different practices. It could be meditation or breathing practices and things like that. But in the United States, it's more often thought of as a movement exercises. And so those are called asanas. And a lot of the poses that they do are actually Sanskrit words. So it's sort of interesting to learn the Sanskrit and to do these movements. Now you'd think I'm too old to do yoga.
Oh no, you're never too old to do
You're
anything.
never too old to do yoga.
Old.
And you don't have to be able to touch your toes with your nose.
That's good.
And you don't have to wear any special clothes.
Yes.
No. So anyway, I started, basically, I wanted it to learn to be stronger, to lengthen myself because I'm height challenged.
Yes.
And to develop endurance, balance, and all maintaining an alignment so that you don't injure yourself. So one day, my favorite yoga teacher, whose name is Sandra Razielli, I'm putting in a plug for her, she likes to play with words too. And she always asks at the beginning of a class, do you have any questions, comments, or thoughts? And then one day she said, any haikus? And I thought, nobody said anything. But I started thinking, gee, what is a haiku? Oh. I had to go home and look it up
in the
to
dictionary.
remind myself, you know, what this is. It's a form of Japanese poetry. So it's 3 lines of poetry, 17 syllables. The first line has 5 syllables. The second line has 7 syllables. The third line has 5 syllables. So it really forces you to express an idea or a thought very succinctly. Anyway, I went to class and we were practicing poses, and all of a sudden a haiku came to me.
Oh.
And so I'm going to read some of them to you now.
Yes, go ahead.
The first one is about lengthening in a pose that's called mountain pose. Reaching from my ribs, I stretch to touch the treetops. I am an inch taller. Okay. So a lot of haikus, the traditional haikus that are written in, by real poets, have serious subjects. These are kind of silly. All right, like this one. And I'll show you the pose for this. This is called a lunge. And my haiku for that is plunge into your lunge. Feel strength and fluidity. Absorb like a sponge.
Oh.
So that's that one. Then probably everybody's heard of this one, downward dog. What's the perfect pose? Downward dog gets all the spots. Try it every day.
Nice
Okay.
and short.
Very
Yes.
well. That's what a
it.
haiku
Yes.
is. Okay. I don't have a picture for the next one.
Okay.
But a lot of times when you're trying too hard, all of a sudden you notice that your jaw is all tightened up. So I came up with this one. Wouldn't you know it? My jaw thinks it needs to help. Relax, silly jaw.
It's cute.
So, so another benefit of yoga is that as you get into the practice, you start finding that you have all these deeper layers inside your body. And so that experience led to this haiku. As I go deeper, I find another layer, like peeling onions. Oh, I do have a picture for that
Oh,
one.
there's the onion peel. Yes, peeling
Okay.
onions.
Finding other layers.
Ah. Do you like to draw?
No,
No. Okay.
I don't have an artistic bone in my body. All right. You can do yoga anywhere, in bed. Lying in my bed, I do my yoga stretches without getting up.
Oh, cute.
Okay, while hiking in the mountains. Lying on a log, inhaling pine-scented air, I expand my lungs. That one I came up with at Mammoth Lakes when I was hiking near Devil's Postpile. This one is about meditation. When I meditate, my mind calms. I go inside and explore nothing. Okay. Now, the next ones are about breathing practices, and breathing is called pranayama in Sanskrit. So this first one has pranayama in it. Pranayama purifies, healing my asthmatic lungs and feeding my brain. And another one, feel your breath rising from your belly to your ribs. Expand, pause, exhale.
Nice.
And another one about breath. This one reminds me that nourishment refers to more than just eating food. Nourish your body, not with food, but with your breath. Inhale and exhale. So you can use lots of different props to help you get into these poses, such as a mat, blocks, blankets, and straps. And the props were popularized by an individual by the name of B.K.S. Iyengar, who was a famous yogi from India. So that prompted this haiku. Mr. Iyengar, all your blocks, straps, mats, and pads fill half my closet. So, like I say, it's very silly. Here's a picture of all the
Oh,
equipment.
Isn't this cute? Yoga props.
Yoga props.
Oh, you have a room full of them?
I have several rooms full of them, it seems like, because we actually have a yoga class at my house every
really?
Thursday
Oh.
that we do over Skype with my teacher who moved to Hawaii, but we still wanted to have classes with her.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so anyway.
How many come to your class?
About 6 or 7.
6 or 7. The same ladies all the time?
And men.
And men too?
And
About what ages do they range?
They're all around my age.
Oh, young.
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, at the end of a session, people lie down on their backs in a comfortable position, and the idea is to integrate the poses and the movements and the breathing that you've practiced and to clear your mind. Sometimes it's hard to do this pose. And because, of course, you're lying there thinking, don't forget to pick up milk on the way home.
Oh, yes.
I hope I'm not late for my next appointment.
Oh.
But you're supposed to be lying there clearing your brain, so I wrote this haiku. Time to be serene. Silence the mind, make no lists. Shavasana. And Shavasana is this Sanskrit word for resting pose. And when my yoga practice is done, I put away my mats and my blocks and my straps and my blankets. And I thought of this one as I was leaving. I'm walking on air as I leave my yoga class. Nothing feels better.
Good, good. You have been a busy lady. I hope you're going to have these all published.
Well, as a matter of fact, they are online.
Tell us
And
about where people
I'll
can...
give you the website in a
Okay.
minute. However, I thought I'd like to tell you that I decided that I shouldn't just write haikus about yoga. So I decided to write about a little wood rat that we found in our basement, and we adopted it, and we brought it inside.
Oh.
Her name was Zoe,
Zoe.
and that is Greek. It means life. Wood rats are generally only live 1 to 3 years.
Oh, really?
But we took her home, and she lived 9 years.
9, like a cat, huh?
Yeah. So I tried this one, Zoe the rat. Now wait a minute, that's only 4 syllables, and I need another syllable. Zoe the pack rat, that's 5. Lived 9 years in luxury in our living room.
Oh, how cute. How
Okay.
cute. Well, now, I think we're just about out of time for this
Okay.
segment, but we're going to have our poet come on and join us. And I'm
Okay.
sure she's going to have some questions
Okay.
that she can ask you. Maybe you can tell her about getting started with haiku poetry. I don't think she's done that yet.
All right.
But we'll have her come on.
Very
So
good.
we'll be back in just a moment. Now, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, don't turn off those TVs. We're going to take a quick break, and then our poet is going to come on and join us. So we'll be back in just a moment. And now Juliana has joined us, and she has a few questions for Miss Myers.
So why does haiku have to be really short?
Well, haiku is just one form of poetry, and this is the way they created the form. They just wanted to be able to express an idea very quickly with very few words.
How do you decide what you want to say in 5 syllables and all that stuff that you have to say haiku in?
How do you decide what to say?
Yeah.
Well, it's hard because you can't just go on and on and on and on just with stream of consciousness. You have to think of one idea and then just condense it as much as possible and find the rhythm. There's a rhythm to it.
Did you have another question?
And also, why do you really like haiku?
Boy, I don't know. I'd never written poetry before in my life, unlike you. And my yoga teacher inspired me, and it was something to think of while I was doing yoga poses.
Another question?
What do you really think about when you're writing haiku?
I think about the rhythm, the number of syllables, the best words to express the idea. And I think I want to make it humorous too.
Another question?
And also, do you want other people to also write haiku?
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love to see if you could write haiku.
It's going to be hard.
It's not, once you get into it. You can get a piece of paper and just do a little line for 5 syllables and then little 7 lines, and then just try them, fill them in.
Did you want to ask her what she has in her lap there?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to show you a picture of Zoe the rat.
She looks really cute.
She was very cute. She was very pretty for a wild rat.
You have a question about Zoe, or would you like to have one?
Yeah. What is her favorite food to eat?
Nuts. But she did also eat carrots, but she loved pecans.
Could you tell us about this pecan she's eating?
She's eating a pecan that was $14 a pound.
Ooh, $14 a pound.
Well, nothing's too good
For your
for our
Zoe.
Zoe, who lived 9 years.
Where did Zoe sleep?
She slept in her cage.
Oh.
How old is she?
Well, she's now gone, unfortunately. We
Oh.
have her buried in the basement under our living room, but she lived to be 9 years old.
Is that old for a...
Most rats live 1 to 3 years.
Oh, you took good care of her.
Yes,
She didn't want to leave you guys.
she did not.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask before we end our program?
No.
Well, you did a good job. Aren't you proud of her? Didn't she do a wonderful job?
I think you did a great job. I'd love to see a haiku that you might try and write.
Yes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Anything else you'd like to tell us?
Nope.
Okay. Anything
Okay.
else you'd like to ask?
No.
No?
Oh, I just want to let you know, if you want to look at more haikus, go to the website, raziyoga.com, RAZIYOGA.com, and you will find a lot of my haikus there.
Good, good, good. Uh-huh. Do you think you'd like to go out maybe like to nursing homes or places like that where seniors are and don't get out and read your haiku poetry to them?
That's a good idea. I never thought of it.
Uh-huh. Where are some of the other places you might have gone besides just your own home? And
I'm not much of a performer usually, so
Well,
I
you
like
d-
to be in the
wonderful.
background
I
most
think
of the time.
people would enjoy this, you know.
That's a good thought.
Yes, I used to go out to the veterans' homes, you know, and read to the veterans, and they'd read their poems, and we'd dance with them and make snacks, popcorn, and write letters for them, you know. There's a lot of places, you know, I think they'd enjoy your haiku poetry.
Wow. A new career for me.
A new career for you.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
there's
And
no end to the
That's
careers.
right. And I want to thank you for winning those awards. You did an excellent job, and you keep on writing those good poems, and I know you're going to become a wonderful author one of these days, and we're going to be hearing good things about you. And I'd like to have your mom come and be on and tell children about becoming a lawyer. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Yes. And I know you're going to have fun tonight when you take Mom out for her dinner. And how old you say Mom's going to be?
40.
And
And
she
her
ha-
twin sister.
And a twin sister. You have an aunt that's a twin to your mother. Well, how nice. Well, I want to thank you guys so very much. You did a wonderful job. And I'd like to say to our audience, if you would like to be on We Poets, please call me 510-848-6905. Let's wave goodbye to our audience. Goodbye, everybody. And
Bye-bye.
thank you for watching.